Well, another day on our project here. We're going to go ahead and we've got about 2 weeks left of time to get this together. I'm going to go ahead, we're putting in the butcher block countertops that I have over here. Actually, I got enough of the butcher block for about $400 from Floor Decor, and I have the laminate flooring that's going to go down in here as well. So this cabinet is completely shot. I've cut all the pieces I need to make the new cabinets that are going to go in here. So I'm going to work on getting that put together. I'm going to take out that cabinet, take out the countertop, take that stuff, and put it on the truck to get to the... We've got the gray flooring in here that'll look really, really good. And if I can get that stuff squared away, we're going to change the microwave as well. That'll end up being black. It's a stainless steel refrigerator and a black stove that'll match. So all of this will look a whole lot better. They'll have plenty of cabinet space to work with, and it will, maintenance-wise, having the butcher block countertops, I seal them with spar urethane, and the good thing is if it gets scratched, you can sand it out and revarnish it. So these will actually last a long time and actually save us money in the long run. As well as the same thing with the wood floors, sanding those out and varnish them keeps us from having to buy laminate flooring or buy carpeting in the future. It's more time right now, but it will definitely be more advantageous in the future. So we've got our garbage disposal disconnected. We've got our hoses disconnected in here. I'm going to get rid of that cabinet and get rid of the sink, and then I'll start building the new cabinets. Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of Joe Boo's day job. So sometimes bad things happen to you, but it ends up being something good. I have always been a DeWalt tool guy. I've been doing DeWalt tools for probably 23 years. I think the first, or 22 years. I think some of the early stuff I had was some of their old drills, 3 generations of batteries ago, and a laser level. And so the thing I love is I actually like their professional grade tools. Unfortunately, this house that we're working on here that was built in 1903 was broken into, and a lot of my tools were taken. Some of those tools, like my circular saw, I've had for probably 6 years and had to go ahead and buy new ones. Well, I was at Home Depot. I always loved the 60 volt power tools because it's a professional grade. It lasts longer. The batteries I can use in my chainsaw, my table saw, my miter saw, and so on. So when I went through and replaced it, I didn't want to do the 20 volt ones. So they had the regular 7¼ inch circular saw, and I believe that was $3.99, tool only. And then they had the worm drive for $4.19. And I decided to get the worm drive, and that's this right here. This bad boy, oh my God, it's heavy. Don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted. This will build up your arm and your shoulder, but the amount of power that this thing has versus the regular 60 volt circular saw is unbelievable. It literally cuts through stuff like butter. So for me, I like having my cordless tools. I've got probably about 10 of these batteries. I go on the job site, I've got those. In fact, I've got a 4-bank charger that if you flip the switch on it, this charger costs about $400, you're actually able to use that as a generator. It's an electric generator. And I've used my big demolition jackhammer for 30 minutes off of 20 volt batteries. So this thing, what I love is you've got a great big handle right here to hold on to because you're going to need it. The battery slides into place right here. You've got a great handle on here, and you even have this hook that you can use to put it onto your tool belt. Now, unfortunately, if you're an old guy like me, there's kind of like the reverse V. You lose your butt. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And that's why your pants are always falling down. So you got to make sure your belt is on tight because this thing is pretty heavy. It is pretty heavy, and you will need to use 2 hands with it. But if you've got to cut 6x6 pressure treated lumber or dimensional lumber, or if you're really framing up a house, This thing is exactly what you need. Now, I'm not going to recommend this, say, for just the casual hairy homeowner who's just doing a couple projects, because the cost of it is a lot of money. But like I said, the circular saw I had before, I think I had about 5 or 6 years and had no problems with it other than it being stolen. So right now, I've got some 3/4 inch plywood that I'm cutting because I'm building cabinets. I've got to cut up some wood flooring, antique heart pine that we're using, and replace the floorboards. But I've also had to wait and get another one of these. The 60-volt table saw. Oh man, they walked off with that too, but I got a new one because, again, I hate power cords. I hate tripping over power cords. I hate trying to find outlets. And a lot of times when I'm doing rehab projects, we don't have electricity, and I hate to hear the sound of the generator, and that's just something else that they can steal. So 60-volt tools, I'm in love with. Okay, so this is a regular framing saw blade that actually came with it. This is a very thin veneer birch plywood, and you can see how clean that cut is. If you end up putting in a nice smooth blade, you'd probably have 0 tear out. That is amazing. You see, torque wise, it's got plenty of power to it, but it doesn't feel like it's going super fast, but it feels like it is just slicing through it like hot butter. I think that this is definitely about as close as you're going to get to a really great plug-in electric saw. In fact, I would take this one over a plug-in one any day. I haven't used a plug-in circular saw in probably, I don't know, 6-7 years at least. And I will put this against anything. It's great if you got to go underneath the house and do some cutting and stuff. Got the extension cord. It's great if you're, crawling in places and don't want to have that cord dragging behind you. It's got tons of power, and for it to just slice through that thing like hot butter, it's just amazing. Cordless power tools have come so far in the last 10 years. It's amazing because, like, the first battery powered one I had, I think was like a 4.5 inch saw blade with it, and it was kind of like a toy. This ain't no toy. If you are serious, if you are professional, and you want tools that last, stick with DeWalt. I'm not going to lie to you. Stick with DeWalt. They'll last you, and you'll get your money's worth out of them. So we're going to go ahead. Now that I've got this stuff set up, I'm going to bring out my table saw and use my table saw to cut this down so I can make cabinets here on the job site. This house right here, it's being rebuilt by DeWalt Tools, and it's built in 1903. They didn't have that back then, but I'm fortunate I do. I'm here with refinishing the floors. They've been cut up in places and things like that, and we have pieces like this that you can see that are broken. So what I've done is I've got some reclaimed lumber that we're going to put in. And so you've got a tongue and a groove that's in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our DeWalt worm drive and we're going to cut it right down the middle. We know right here this seam is on a floor joist and down there is on a floor joist. So we're going to cut all of that out down the middle, and that'll enable us to be able to get the pry bar up in there and pop it out. Now what we've done, because we then have to put it in there, is we've got our tongue, but we cut our channel off of there so that way it can drop on there. And that should fit in there and go real good. I've had to do this many, many times before over the years. Okay, so here's what we've cut this with the circular saw, so we can pull this piece out, and we can take that, we can pull this piece in the middle out, and then we can pull this back, and we can get this off of the tongue, and then drop the other piece in. Okay, there we go. Let's see if we can. Okay, so I need to get like a screwdriver to go ahead and pull that out. But you can see a lot of the tongue is gone, but that's okay. We'll hold on to what we have in here, and it'll be sitting and resting on all of these joists, so it'll be fine in there. But we want to try and do is see if we can get this all out in one that way. That new piece will drop right in there. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of work. And there's one of the nails right there. You can see those are cut nails. Those are real old. It's easiest just for me to take the multi-tool, cut that, and just keep working my way down. Okay, so we got the old piece out, and you can see what we have to do now is get the groove lined up in here and gently tap it in. Now the wood is very delicate and brittle, so you want to be real careful as you do that. I don't have a mallet with me, but I'll use some scrap pieces of wood to tap it in place. I got to remember to bring my tripod. There we go. It's in there. We'll use finishing nails to put it in place, tap it down, and then it'll get sanded. We'll fill in around it with some of the sawdust and glue to make that real tight in there. Yeah, you're dealing with old floors. You're only going to be able to do so much for them, but that'll work. We made ourselves some, using the sawdust, some putty, and we filled in around it. Come tomorrow, we're going to get the floor sander. We'll sand that, and it'll be pretty good. You'll have a hard time. I'll be able to pick it out because I put it in there, but you'll have to look for it because all of it will kind of blend in. I've got to make a run real quick to the dump, but I've got more places to fill in before I go for the evening. But it's coming along pretty good. I like it like that.